Welcome back to Tuesday Trivia. I am here once again reading you 10 synopses of movies from the Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever, leaving out some identifying words, and you try to guess what the movie is. The theme this week, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat, is 70s horror movies part 2, because I already did one 70s horror movie quiz week. This will be part 2. So all new 70s horror movies, giving you the synopsis and then giving you some clues after that if you don't get it from the synopsis. But I do want to warn you that I'm not going to have the slides up for this video. I just don't have time to make them. And if you do need that extra bit for accessibility, for watching it on mute if you're at work or whatever, then you can use the auto-generated subtitles. Hopefully, I enunciate clearly enough for YouTube to be able to tell what I'm saying. So sorry about that. I will be back to doing that probably after the next couple. I'm traveling a lot recently. That's why I didn't post one last week. I'm not sure if I'll be able to post one next week. We're going to try my best. So let's get to it. Welcome back, horror movie fans. Hopefully you're horror movie fans, because this week I am focused on horror movies for this trivia/quiz. If you haven't been here before, the way it works is I am going to read you a synopsis of a movie from the Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever 2021. I omit any identifying names, places, authors, directors, whatever, so that I don't give it away in the synopsis. If you don't get it from the synopsis, I will then also give you the year and then the cast in reverse order of billing. And then sometimes I mix that up a little bit because some people have become a little bit more well-known, especially in horror communities, than maybe they were in an early film. So sometimes I mix it up, but usually reverse order of billing. Then I give you the director, and then I give you the answer. I'm also going to be doing fun facts for each of these films. I have 10 films for you. They're all from the 70s. I've already done a 70s horror theme week. This is part 2. So part 2 of the 70s movie, 70s horror movie theme. Flo, just hang out. She's my co-host. So let's get right to it. Movie number 1. A mysterious plague causes the recently dead to rise from their graves and scour the countryside for living flesh. Very violent, gory, graphic, and shocking, yet not without humor. Gives interesting consideration to the violence created by the living humans in their efforts to save themselves. So, this one might be easy for some. It might be very broad and generic for others who aren't familiar with this movie in particular. I tried to pick difficult ones and easy ones, and then try to hit some movies on the spectrum everywhere in between those two. Very hard and very easy. I don't think I have any super hard ones this week, but there are some tough ones. So I'll give you the year for this movie that I just read the synopsis. It is 1978. And the cast is Galen Ross, Ken Foree, and David Emge. It might be MG. I do my best with pronunciation. I don't know everybody's names and how to pronounce it. If I get it wrong, forgive me. I'm trying my best. The director is George Romero. So it is a George Romero movie, which probably clued you in to the fact that it is a zombie movie. And this one is Dawn of the Dead. So this is Dawn of the Dead. I'm surprised they didn't mention a mall in the synopsis there, but that's what we have from Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever. The fun fact that I have for you about Dawn of the Dead is that the mall was functional. So it was open during the day, and the crew had to get in there and film at night and overnight. So that's how they filmed Dawn of the Dead. But that also meant that all of the set dressing that they would add, for example, the Christmas decorations that they had, would have to be put up at night when the mall was closed, and then taken down in the morning before the mall opened. So it sounds like a lot of work. Number 2, overprotected by religious fanatic mother Lori and mocked by the in crowd, shy, withdrawn high school girl blank is asked to the prom. Realizing that she's been made the butt of a joke, she unleashes her considerable telekinetic talents. Actors, I redacted a few names here. These actors are teenagers who get what they deserve, based on the blank novel. So I redacted the author's name here. If you've seen any of these before, I usually leave the author in, but in this case, it is too well known and too tied to this movie for me to tell you who that is. I'll tell you once I give you the answer, but the year is 1976. The cast is Piper Laurie, John Travolta, and Sissy Spacek. Hopefully you got it from that. It's a pretty iconic Sissy Spacek character. And the director is Brian De Palma. And this movie is Carrie. So I redacted Stephen King's name. I figured that was a little too obvious what the connection to this high school girl and a Stephen King novel. So I took it out. I redacted it. Usually I'm rewarding the readers in the audience by saying what the author's name is. In this case, I redacted it. If you are a reader, great. If you read Carrie, awesome. If you love Stephen King, great. I'm just not giving you that obvious clue in the synopsis. Movie number 3. One of the few instances where a remake is an improvement on the original, which was itself a classic. This time, the pod people are infesting San Francisco with only a small group of people aware of the invasion. A ceaselessly inventive, creepy version of the alien takeover paradigm with an intense and winning performance by the lead. Features cameos by, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what these are, cameos by Don Siegel and Kevin McCarthy from the original, as well as an uncredited appearance by Robert Duvall. So if you know the original and you know those two, that would give it away. It's a remake. The year is 1978. The cast is Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, and Veronica Cartwright. The director is Philip Kaufman. And this movie is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's a great remake. Highly recommend it. It's got some creepy stuff in there. The fun fact that I have for you for Invasion of the Body Snatchers is that the ill-fated banjo player, whose pod version was merged with his dog, is seen a few times throughout the film. The music that he plays was actually performed by Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. Well, that's interesting. Little jam band connection to 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Movie number 4. A stylish but gruesome rock music-driven tale of a composer who reads a book on the occult which happens to relate to the sadistic sang-froid murder of his neighbor. When he visits the book's author, he discovers that she has been horribly murdered as well. So this one might be a little bit of a deeper cut. If you know the movie, I just gave you a tiny bit of a clue there. And I think in this synopsis they use the word sang-froid wrong. It means like, ice in your veins. You're stoic. You're, in the face of adversity. You are chill. You're focused, so on and so forth. So I don't know why they put sang-froid murder. I don't know. Anyway, the year is 1975. The cast is Gabrielle Lavia, Daria Nicolodi, and David Hemmings. So those might not be super familiar. It might give you a clue that it is a foreign film, and it is an Italian foreign film directed by Dario Argento. So So this is a 1975 Argento film. When I used the word deeper, that was a little bit of a clue because this movie is deep red. Deep red, if you saw it on video from the same source that I saw it when I was probably a teenager, maybe early 20s, because it was released under a lot of different names. And that's the fun fact that I have for you. It was released under Deep Red, Hatchet Murders, The Hatchet Murders, Profondo Rosso, which is the Italian name for profound red or deep red. It's also the name of Dario Argento's little horror store in Italy that has a little museum underneath. I've been. It is pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Also, Dripping Deep Red, and weirdly, the Saber-Toothed Tiger. I tried to look up why it would be called the Saber-Toothed Tiger, and it said, it's not clear, but maybe because of dental trauma in the movie. I don't know. I don't know why they would call it Saber-Toothed Tiger. Maybe I'm just not remembering something from the movie. Anyway, Deep Red. It's awesome. Check it out. Number 5. A young girl undergoes a radical plastic surgery technique and develops a strange and unexplained lesion in her armpit. She also finds she has an unusual craving for human blood. Ooh. This one is another good one. Indie, Canadian. I'll go ahead and tell you Canadian. Maybe that gives you another clue. Shocker, it is pretty good. 1977 is the year. The cast is Joe Silver, Frank Moore, and Marilyn Chambers. The director is David Cronenberg. So the movie is rabid. So there's an accident at the beginning. There's radical plastic surgery, and then there's body horror. It is David Cronenberg. It is 1977 David Cronenberg, so definitely body horror. The fun fact that I have for you is that the Ivory Snow detergent box cover model, Marilyn Chambers, she was the model for the cover of the Ivory Snow detergent box. She took the role in an effort to get a foothold in mainstream film after a stint in adult films. So she did adult films, and I believe Behind the Green Door was her breakout adult role. But she wanted to get back into mainstream or get into mainstream film, and she was hoping that this would be the case. I don't know if it is. I don't know of her being in, I'm not IMDb. I don't remember that she's in a lot of films, and I can't think of another one that she would be in. Number 6. Upset by her widowed father's plans to remarry, Angel sets off with 6 of her schoolgirl friends in tow for a summer getaway at her aunt's isolated mansion. In this house of dormant secrets, long-held emotional traumas have terrifyingly physical embodiments, and the girls must use their individual talents if any are to survive. So this is a kind of a vague synopsis, and I actually got this one from IMDb because the Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever does not have it. I mentioned before that there are some foreign films that they don't have, like Akira is not in here, or I couldn't find it. I looked it up by the director, I looked it up by the title, I looked it up by alternate titles for this one, not for Akira. I don't know an alternate title for Akira. But it's just not in there, even though I know that they've been on video since before 2021. Anyway, the year for this one is 1977. The cast is Kimiko Ikegami, Miko Jinbo, and Kumiko Oba. So hopefully I pronounced those as close to right as possible. I'm trying my best. The director is Nobuhiko Obayashi. Nobuhiko Obayashi. And this movie is House or Hausu, which is what I tried to look it up under if I couldn't when I couldn't find it under House, but it's not in there. I looked it up under Obayashi's name too, just not in there. The fun fact I have for House is that Obayashi relied heavily on his young daughter's ideas of what would be scary. Many of her ideas, such as the carnivorous piano, were directly translated into film. So apparently he wanted to get that like childlike nightmare logic nailed down, and he went to a child to get those ideas, and it worked out marvelously. If you haven't seen that movie, it is bonkers. So it is very weird, bananas, strange nightmare logic movie that is definitely worth a watch. It's a lot of fun. Movie number 7. While traveling through the desert, a couple's car has a flat. A woman's voice lures the man into an abandoned gas station where he discovers that the voice belongs to a mannequin. Or is it? Not very interesting or suspenseful. So they didn't like this one. I think it's a cult classic. I enjoy it. But they gave it a woof. That's how they rate things. Woof is the worst, and then they give bones up to 4 bones. The year is 1979. The cast is Robin Sherwood, Chuck Connors, and Tanya Roberts. The director is David Schmeller. And this movie is, if you didn't get it from the mannequins, then you probably haven't seen it before. It's Tourist Trap. So Tourist Trap has weird mannequins and a person with a mannequin-like mask on. It's very strange, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good 70s slasher? Yeah, I guess it's a slasher. The fun fact I have for you for Tourist Trap is that the supernatural telekinesis in the film was not in the original script. It was pushed on the director by the studio. So once again, studio interference. I mean, the product ended up being a lot of fun, but who knows what it could have been if it didn't have that supernatural element. I tend to like slashers that don't really have a supernatural element, or if they do, it's more like, how did he get there so fast or whatever, and it's not overt. I know that Jason Voorhees ended up getting pretty supernatural as the sequels kept coming out, and I still like those, so it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just a rule of thumb. Movie number 8. Desperate family battles for survival and vengeance against a brutal band of inbred hillbilly cannibals. This director's gore fest is followed by a sequel. So, hillbilly inbred cannibals. Might describe quite a few movies, but this one is from 1977. The cast is Susan Lanier, Martin Spear, and Dee Wallace. So Dee Wallace is a name that she has become better known. I moved her name. It's not exactly reverse order of billing. But the director is Wes Craven. Wes Craven. Did you get it? This movie is The Hills Have Eyes. So this is the original Hills Have Eyes, remade by Alexander Aja, whatever his name is. I try my best. And it was given a sequel by Craven as well. The fun fact I have for you for this one is that Craven has stated that the film was inspired by the legend, or perhaps real tale, of Shawnee Bean, the Scottish cannibal clan led by Shawnee Bean. So it was a clan of dozens of folks who lived in Scottish Highlands, apparently, and killed and ate 1,000 people, according to legend. Now, some people feel that the Shawnee Bean legend has some truth to it, that there were some killer hermits, cannibals, and some people think it's totally made up. I don't know. I'm not a Shawnee Bean scholar. Another bit of fun fact trivia is that Wrong Turn with Elijah Dushku is based on or inspired by the same legend of Shawnee Bean. Movie number 9. Based on Blank's novel about a sleepy New England village which is infiltrated by evil. A mysterious antiques dealer takes up residence in a forbidding hilltop house, and it becomes apparent that a vampire is on the loose. Generally creepy. This actor is good, but this other actor only takes up space in the lead as a novelist returning home. I don't think forbidding hilltop home or house is right. I think it should be foreboding, but I didn't major in English. I majored in biology education, so what do I know? The year is 1979. The cast is David Soul, James Mason, and Lance Kerwin. The director is director of my favorite movie, Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hooper. And this movie is not my favorite movie. It is not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It is Salem's Lot, which I believe was a made-for-TV movie, but still counts as a film. I'm including it in this week's trivia, so that's that. The fun fact I have for you for Salem's Lot is that the Erie Marston house featured in the movie was mostly a facade on the front of a much smaller home, and it was constructed specifically for this production. Last one, movie number 10. This one might be hard. I think this might be a harder one. Maybe, maybe not. Number 10, ventriloquist and his dummy, an all-too-human counterpart, get involved with a beautiful but impressionable woman lost between reality and the irresistible world of illusion. Spine-chilling psychodrama with a less-than-believable premise. Screenplay by Goldman from his novel. So I left the Goldman in there. If you've read Goldman, I thought this was based on a play. It says novel, maybe both. I don't know. Anyway, the year is 1978. The cast is Anthony Hopkins, Anne Margaret, and Burgess Meredith. And as I read that out, I realize I did not reverse the order. So, give you a little extra clue there with Anthony Hopkins being first. The director is Richard Attenborough. Richard Attenborough might ring a bell, but maybe not for this movie. And that's part of my fun fact. This movie is magic. So Anthony Hopkins is a ventriloquist. His dummy looks like a caricature of him. Hijinks ensue. The fun fact that I have for you is that Richard Attenborough has directed many top-tier films. He directed A Bridge Too Far. He directed Gandhi. But he is probably most recognized as John Hammond from Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. So Richard Attenborough, the director, producer, actor, is in Jurassic Park as John Hammond, but he's also directed some pretty top-tier movies. That's it. That's all I have for you. I've had fun putting these together once again. So thanks for joining me for this one. I really like this weird quiz format that I'm doing. It's fun for me. Hopefully it's fun for you. I really do appreciate you sticking around and watching this far. If you want to like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay too. You'll see me the next time I post. Thanks.